This construction site best management practice, BMP, module presents procedures for managing material delivery and storage. Typical storage materials include Portland cement concrete components, petroleum products, pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, detergents, acids, lime, glues, adhesives, paints, and solvents. By managing and storing these materials according to the guidelines presented in this module, you will be doing your part to minimize or eliminate the release of hazardous and non-hazardous chemicals into the storm drain system or water course. Proper storage includes the following practices. Store materials in a temporary containment facility. Locate temporary containment facilities away from vehicle traffic. Ensure that temporary containment facilities meet building and fire code requirements. Ensure that storage instructions are posted for all the materials in an open and conspicuous location. Use only approved containers and drums for storing liquids, petroleum products, and other substances. Store materials in their original containers with the original product labels maintained in place in a legible condition. Replace damaged or otherwise illegible labels immediately. Cover all bagged and boxed materials on non-working days and prior to rain events to protect the materials from wind and precipitation. Verify if the contractor has provided the resident engineer with the material safety data sheets for all materials stored on site. Do not store incompatible materials, such as chlorine and ammonia, in the same temporary storage facility. Allow sufficient space between stored containers to allow for spill cleanup and emergency response access. And ensure that the temporary containment facility is impervious to the material stored therein for a minimum contact time of 72 hours. Throughout the rainy season, each temporary containment facility must have a permanent cover and side wind protection. The temporary containment facility must be maintained free of accumulated rainwater and spills. In the event of a spill, leak, or storm, collect and place accumulated rainwater and spills in drums. Handle the liquids as hazardous waste unless testing determines them to be non-hazardous. Send all collected liquids and non-hazardous liquids to an approved disposal site and contain and clean up spills immediately in accordance with the Spill Prevention Control BMP. Implement the following procedures when materials are delivered. Keep an accurate, up-to-date inventory of materials delivered and stored on site. Minimize the material inventory stored on site to only a few days' supply. And ensure that employees trained in emergency spill cleanup procedures are present when dangerous materials or liquid chemicals are unloaded. Keep storage areas clean, well organized, and equipped with ample cleanup supplies as appropriate for the materials being stored. Notify your supervisor if supplies are not available. Repair or replace perimeter controls, containment structures, covers, and liners as needed to maintain proper function. This BMP can only be effective with regular inspections. During inspections, check for the following. Inspect storage areas before and after rainfall events, and at least weekly during other times. Collect and place into drums any spills or accumulated rainwater. Determine if hazardous materials are stored in temporary containment. If not, place the materials in an appropriate temporary containment facility. Check and ensure that hazardous substances are labeled. If not, ensure that the containers are labeled with an original label or remove them from the site. If hazardous chemicals, drums, or bagged materials are stored directly on the ground, place them on a pallet and, when possible, cover them, and provide temporary containment. If temporary containment facilities have standing water in them, pump the standing water into a containment device, test it for possible pollutants, and dispose of it properly. If materials are stored outside, place them on a raised platform and cover them as needed to provide run-on and run-off control. If incompatible materials such as chlorine and ammonia are stored together, place the incompatible materials in separate temporary storage facilities. If temporary containment facilities are not covered, make sure that they are covered at all times when practical and at least on non-working days and prior to rain events. If there are no spill cleanup materials on site, ensure that a supply of cleanup materials are purchased and keep them close to the temporary storage areas. Ensure that the contractor keeps all materials within the storage facility. Ensure that the contractor's training reinforces proper material storage and handling procedures. To learn more about the standards and specifications for this BMP, talk to your supervisor or the resident engineer for the project.